This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the monsters of the Midway, the Chicago Bears, and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still first down.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. The numbers for him from a week ago: 19 carries, 76 yards, and a touchdown.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Operating from the gun, Yoder. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here comes the Bears punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. Oh, and he's taken down here by his face mask by the looks of it. And a penalty flag is going to give a much better starting position.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the
First down.
conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The face mask moves him all the way out past the 40 now for first down.
Set. Green, 30.
Back to throw. Herring. Throw left side complete. That's Boyd. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
They'll run on first down. Parker. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
On third down, that's Parker, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Onto the field now come the Bears. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. The starters defensively now for the Falcons. They really played well in that win last week against Miami.
This defense has a lot to be proud of coming off of the game they played last week. When you only give up 14 points in a game, not only do you give your team a chance to win, you fully expect to win because you figure your offense is going to score more than that.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Here we go.
Off the play fake. Yoder got his man complete over the middle. That's Ferguson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And now running right through it. 20. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Point after here coming up. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And a long run there in the end to top it off. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Now let's go. 3, 9,
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But it's free safety coming up and making the big-time play.
3-19.
From the gun on third down. Herring looking left side. It's complete. He's got it. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Off play action. Herring. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
Fired that one in there. Able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Green 30.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
False start, offense.
Maybe he was going to be involved in that play from his tight end spot, and he jumped.
Yeah, don't tell me that those guys don't like to block. That's what we say about them nowadays in the NFL. I think he thought he was one of the key pieces in that play and wanted to get out and execute the assignment very fast.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The 13 yards that time and a first.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Set. Green 39. Green.
On first and 10, Herring. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Tyler. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They give him a gain of 37.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They've got a first and goal just inside the 5. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons are in for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Now the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 10-7. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. when you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Here we go. 3-19.
And they'll run it here. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Throwing on first down. Yoder. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, Yoder. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Herring. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, 90.
Off the play fake. Herring. And his throw here is incomplete.
He's 2nd in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game with great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They go play action here on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Ferguson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue landed. Blue landed.
On first down, Yoder. Wide open receiver, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there at 22.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
On 1st and 10, Yoder. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Yoder. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still 3rd down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And that last penalty makes this 3rd down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, Yoder. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And that will knot us up at 10. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. Want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, second and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
9 yards on the first down. Keep it at 2nd and 1.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Here we go now. 3-19.
On 2nd down now, Parker, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Throwing on 1st down. Herring. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Here we go now.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Herring. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green.
From the gun, Herring firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
Off play action, Herring. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Here we go. 3-19.
Looking to throw. Herring. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Herring. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Here we go. Blue 90.
Operating from the gun. Herring. It is intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
And an alley to run. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
On 1st down, Yoder, and that is incomplete here.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On third down. Yoder. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Set. Green, 39. Green.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 more yards there and another first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, Yoder. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Throw left side complete. That's Pierce. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Green, 39. Green, 39.
To throw on 3rd down. Yoder. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Pierce. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
To throw on 2nd down. Yoder. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. Looking to throw. Yoder. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Throwing on 1st down. Yoder. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bears have broken the tie.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Now for the point after. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 17-10 score. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. They'll run it now out of the gun. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Herring. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Over the middle, complete. It's Tyler. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll start out with an AFC East matchup between Buffalo and the New York Jets. And it's the Bills with the lead in the second quarter. The Bills seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And as you see, they were losers back on Thursday night. 14-7, the final score. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
All right, here we go. Boom,
Looking to throw on second down. Herring finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
The Falcons on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is third down and 12. From the gun, Herring. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll find a little space. He gets this up near the 10.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this second down call after that type of a gain.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, instead of fourth down after the incompletion, it'll be first down, roughing the passer.
Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And now running right through it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And they get 14 yards there and a first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And on the ground they go with the running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
Back to throw. Yoder. And he finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he's got this down to the 35. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And they'll run it here. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. In for the score. And the Bears will add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw on 2nd down. Herring. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
As you know, so many things in the passing game are based on yardage. Sometimes it's just based on timing, and that's what we saw right there on that play. 3rd and 3, just get the ball right to the receiver.
Is the hitch route. And tell us, what is the hitch route?
Yeah, just take really one step like you're driving off the line of scrimmage, get the defensive back on his heels, get the ball out to the receiver, and he does the rest.
Off the play fake. Herring. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
We call that a sack.
Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
3-19.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a 3rd and still about 12 to go.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Now let's go.
On 3rd down, Herring. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. This will probably be the last play of the quarter. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
On first down, Parker. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily, you're right, but he did there. The Falcons on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 8.
All right, here we go.
On the give, this is their fullback. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
So, Party, the next time we see this coaching staff, I want you to have my back here because that was really kind of a white flag type of a play, almost a little bit of a surrender. Just turn and hand it to the big guy, get what you can, and be prepared to kick the ball away.
The Falcons send out their punter. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. And he'll take it just outside the 40. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
Looking to throw. Yoder. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. That goes for a gain of 31. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Operating from the gun. Yoder. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bears will extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
The extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive, 4 plays, and the end result is a Bears touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Off play action. Herring. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
From the gun, Herring. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Here we go now.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Herring. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground.
319. 319.
To throw on 3rd down. Herring. Wide open receiver, complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Well, they go with a slant that time, 15 yards and a 1st down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Operating from the gun. Herring. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And put a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for him.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot.
On third down, here's an option play left. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Set. 319. 319.
From the gun, Herring. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, first down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on second down.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
Operating from the gun, Herring. And his throw is incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. And he fins, but now he's swallowed up and taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
From the gun, Herring. And this is incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Bears will get the football back. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on 4th, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much 4th downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on 4th down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. Been a very strong performance for them really on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now obviously they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging them, give them a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Now let's go. Green.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Let's go. Green 39.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more.
Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll run it here. Fighting through it, he's got space. The 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Blue 90.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Chicago, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And now they'll get the short week as they get set to play at Detroit on Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Buffalo Bills. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.